Hi, thanks for joining me today. I'm Robin Cartwright. I'm an intuitive career planner, and I'm here today to talk to you about empowerment. I've been doing these workshops on Instagram, Facebook. We've been doing some live ones, which have been really exciting. But you've joined me today to learn more about this. So, being empowered at work in your career and being an empowered badass is important. And the reason it's important is it's important for you to feel comfortable and happy in your career. And I've noticed in my 30 plus years of human resources and staffing that it sometimes is very hard to do that. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today to help you with this. First one being that you really have to understand your priorities. So, what are your priorities? What really drives you? So, you can't really be jealous with somebody who has different priorities than you have. And every time we go through events in our life, our priorities change. So, for example, when I first started out in my career, my priority was all about climbing the corporate ladder and learning as much as I can and going on wonderful vacations with friends and family. Then, as I evolved, I started a family, and then my priorities changed. I was into making sure I was to pick up my child at 6 o'clock at night. I was making sure that I was there for birthday parties, was there for soccer, was there for baseball, was there for dances. Everything that my children needed for me, I was available to them. Then you go through the empty nester. Your children's leave the nest, and you're back at I want a job. I want to inspire. I want to do things that make me happy. I want to be passionate about my job. And you go back into the workforce hard and trying to, feel bigger about what you're doing. So your priorities change. That's okay. And what you do at work changes. So, are your needs being met at work? Is what you're trying to do in a healthy balance? Or are you in a situation where you're working so hard and such long hours that you can't have that healthy balance? That's important. So, you really have to figure out what are your priorities? Where are you at now? And then you have to be able to understand them. So the first part of it is figuring out those priorities. That's step number one. Talk about where you're at. Figure out where you're at. Do your pluses and minuses of where you're at. Can you really afford to climb the corporate ladder right now with everything else going on? Unfortunately and fortunately in life, we get some changes, and that's okay. It's called life. That's what we're experiencing. And we're trying to tie life into our career, life into our work. So it's okay to have different priorities at different times. Everybody does. But you need to understand what they are. And it's really important for you to get a journal together, do some soul searching. I like to tell my clients, come up with the plus and minuses. Figure out where you're at right now in your life and what are your pluses. Then in another column, figure out what are your minuses. And really do that searching in your soul of, can I really stay late at work and put in the hours? Do I even want to stay late at work and put in the hours? If I don't stay late at work and put in the hour, what are the consequences? When you're looking at a job, what are they really demanding from you? Is it an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday job? Is it a clock in, clock out job? Is it a professional setting where you can come and go as you need to? You need to figure this out. The second tip I'm going to give you is to understand your strengths and weaknesses. And it's pretty funny because a lot of times you hear these motivational speakers that are all about, well, go after your strengths and turn them in and make them happen. And that's great to have that, to know your strengths. And you should go after things that make you strong. But in every job, we have our weaknesses. So, for example, my weaknesses is that I'm sorry, I have spelling issues at times. So I need spell check. And to be able to sit there all day long and put, policies and procedures together wasn't really my niche. More so, I was better at putting strategic policies together, at looking at the big picture of things. I was much better at looking at the staffing portfolios and understanding what the company's needs were. So I really had to understand what I was really good at and what I was really weak at so that I could build a competent team. If I wasn't very good at putting the policies and procedures together, then I needed to have somebody that was. So you really do need to understand your weaknesses. You need to understand how your weaknesses affect your team. You understand how your strengths affect your team, and you need to communicate those appropriately. Having the hard conversations with your boss and being able to handle those conversations appropriately is really important. The third tip I'm going to leave with you today to feel more empowered at work is to find your sense of calm. We all do the knee-jerk reactions. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You need to find your sense of calm, whether that's meditation, which I really like and highly recommend, or is it working out where you can feel better and get your frustrations out on a treadmill or elliptical or taking a long walk with friends. Also, I like to, before I start my day, sit in my car for 5 minutes if I'm commuting, or at home, you sit in front of, I don't know, a window and look outside, look at the birds, look at the weather, look at the snow, look at the nature, and kind of calm yourself down. The other way of doing it is getting the endorphins going, doing the workouts and, doing a little dance. I know sometimes I like to put on music and just jazz it up and start feeling good about the day and get that blood flowing. And that will help you to deal with issues throughout the day, be able to have things bounce off you, and to take a moment and pause before you react. It's really important to pause before you react. I can tell you the times that I got in trouble in my career was times that I just did that knee-jerk reaction and I didn't take a moment to pause. Sometimes we need to pause, meditate, go for a walk around the block, get outside, go in, do some little dancing in the bathroom. Sometimes taking a pause is really important. So those are your 3 tips. Priorities, know them, understand them. Strengths and weaknesses, and communicating them. Make sure that you communicate that and have the talk with your boss. I am not good at this skill, but I'm really good at these skills. And ask your boss, what do they think you're good at? And 3, find the sense of calm. Hopefully this helped you out. I also have a workshop that I do, and there's one coming up. So you can go to my website at hiddengemscoaching.co and learn more about it. I have several workshops where we dive into this much more in depth. There's one coming up about finding your career inner badass. There's another one of I'm stuck, help me climb out of this hole. And there's another one with mommy and daddy. It's okay to go to work, because I understand that those financial situations and limited situations of being at home can be hard. But let's talk about them in my workshops. I'm Robin Cartwright. I'm an intuitive career planner. I look forward to working with you. Have a great day.